So hello my dear friends, welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. So today in this video, I'm going to be discussing one of the most misunderstood topics of Vedic astrology, and that is known as the Sanyas Yoga. Sanyas Yoga is also known as renunciation, where you are actually not looking more towards the worldly pleasures of the life and you are more towards the spirituality. Okay, but before understanding this Sanyas Yoga, you need to understand the four basic stages of life. These are also known as four ashrams in our Vedic or Hindu tradition. And then we are also going to be discussing the combinations which are created by planetary combinations in your horoscope that will create this Sanyas Yoga or the Yoga of renunciation. In Sanskrit, we also call it as a Pravrajya Yoga. Okay, so there are different names also, but the most prominent name is the Sanyas Yoga. Secondly, we will also try to understand the cancellation factor behind the Sanyas Yoga. Like many people in this 21st century, they want to give up the worldly pleasures and even the materialistic pleasures of the life, and they want to really go towards the spirituality, moksha and enlightenment also. So there are certain yogas that also represent certain restrictions, even if the Sanyas Yoga is formed in your astrological chart. So we will be discussing both kind of yogas here. Then I will also help you to understand the kind of sannyasi which you are going to be becoming here, and how the 7 planets which I mentioned up there, Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter and Saturn, how each planet determine the kind of Sanyas Yoga which you are going to be taking into your life. And this is going to be a very detailed video. I humbly request all of you to please watch this video till end, so that you can gain the maximum inputs with regards to this Sanyas Yoga in Vedic astrology. Okay. First of all, in our Vedic tradition, there are basically the 4 stages of the life. Okay, and you have I have mentioned the time frame from 0 to 100 years of age. Although in the Vedic tradition, if you look into the Vimshottari Mahadasha, so that if you sum up total Vimshottari Mahadashas, including all the planets, okay, including Rahu and Ketu, so that sum will eventually come up till 120 years of age. But I'm here right now considering the normal lifespan between 0 to 100 actually. Yes, there are some exceptions where people go above the age of 100, 110 as well. But we are going to be taking these 4 stages. This is the first stage, 0 to 25 years of age. 25 to 50 years is the second stage. 50 to 75, third stage. And 75 to 100 is actually the last stage which we are referring as a sannyasi, okay, or a Sanyas Yoga. Although you can skip these 2 stages also and you can directly reach to the Sanyas Yoga, but basically these are the 4 stages. Okay, now first of all, try to understand what are these 4 ashrams in our Vedic tradition. Number first is the Brahmacharya. Okay, it's a Brahmacharya ashram, and you can also call it as a celibate student. So basically during the ancient times, students, nowadays you go to school and colleges for taking your school and college education. During that time frame, there are certain ashrams as well, where you need to go towards the guru and you tend to learn the different form of arts. Okay, if you are a Kshatriya, you will tend to learn how to fight and these kind of a thing. So this is basically the Brahmacharya ashram. Okay, next is the Grihastha ashram, 25 till the 50. You can also call it as a householder. Householder mean a married person. Okay, so here you are having your wife and your kids, okay, with it. So this is the Grihastha ashram. This is also one of the most difficult ashrams in our Vedic tradition. And even many of the ancient sages also, including many Rishi Munis also, they have said this wording, like Grihastha ashram is one of the most challenging and the toughest ashrams. Sanyas ashram is also very easy, like it's not that much easy, but this is one of the toughest, because I know many of who are watching this video, you are not sannyasis, you are a householder just like me, okay? Many of you are maybe a married person having your male, female kids with them, okay? So you actually comes under this Grihastha ashram. And it's also said in our Vedic tradition, if you are a Grihastha or if you are a householder, there is no need for you to do much upasana. Much upasana mean no need for you to do more prayers of any god actually, okay? If you are actually following your duties and responsibilities as an householder, then God is getting satisfied, okay? So there is no need for you to do much renunciation if you are into this part. Although there are many people that are in this Grihastha ashram, they tend to follow the path of a Vairagi. Vairagya is also the another form of Sanyas actually, okay? There is slight dissimilarity between the Sanyas and the Vairagi, but Vairagya simply mean where you are not much attached with your family members, with your friends, or with all the materialistic possessions. So the person that is living a life as an householder, but with full detachment. You can also call it as a household yogi, okay? Next is the Vanprastha ashram. Vanprastha, it's the retired age, and that is the age from 50 to 75. It's also believed in this retired stage in the ancient times, I'm telling you, not in the current world which we are living in. Many people from the age of 50 to 75, they tend to take the path of jungles. They go into jungle, okay? Have you heard about the Lord Buddha? So Lord Buddha also, if you look in his chart also, there are certain planetary combinations that have created him as a sannyasi, okay? But Lord Buddha also born and brought up into a very rich household, okay? He actually belongs to a king family, but still he gave up everything and he go to jungle actually. Basically in our Vedic tradition also, if you see Lord Shri Ram for 14 years of Vanvas went into the jungle actually. So it's actually believed in our Vedic tradition, if you step outside of your home, okay? So suppose this is your home where you are staying. If you step outside of your home, then you naturally tend to gain a lot of experiences in your life. And these experiences, whether good or bad, help you to connect with your spiritual side of the life as well. And this is very important for spiritual awakening of a person. And many individuals between the age of 50 to 75, they also tend to devote most of their time for the betterment of other people, for the betterment of the society as well, okay? And the last stage from 75 till 100, this is known as the sannyas. Okay, so in the ancient textbooks, sannyas is often referred as a renunciation, and it's also known as asceticism, okay? The correct meaning of asceticism is Vairagya. Vairagya simply means the person is no longer attached with anything. It's not only with the materialistic possessions of the life. It's like the person is not even attached with the relationships also, with their father, with their mother, with their kids, with their wife, with their friends also. So the person is having that sort of a mindset or a mentality where I have came empty-handed in this universe and I'm going to leave empty-handed. So you are not going to be carrying anything which you are going to be making in this life. Maybe you are right now purchasing real estate, big bungalows, cars, different kind of things. Now even your clothes which you are wearing, so you are not be able to take these things into the forward direction actually, okay? So everything will remain there. So the sense of Vairagya simply means the person is having some constant thought inside his or her mind where I'm no longer attached with any of these things. And that is also the biggest remedy in our Vedic astrology system. Many people, they tend to suffer a lot because sufferings can be of any kind. It may be sufferings because of your family, because of some traumas in the relationships, maybe suddenly because of artificial intelligence is coming and you are losing your job and you are having home EMIs to pay. You need to look after your kids' school education, maybe looking after the wife and these kind of things. So sufferings can come from any source, okay? It's not limited. It may be because of your health reasons also, okay? So sufferings can be of any kind, and that is the reason in order to escape this part of the sufferings, this is the word which is Viragya or Sanyas. You can call it as a renunciation, asceticism also. So this is actually connected in our Vedic tradition. So this is the normal part. I hope you understand. This is the first part of this video. Now the second part, in continuation to this video, here we are going to be discussing regarding the planetary combinations in your astrological horoscope that have the capacity to create the yogas of sannyas, or we call it as a Pravrajya yoga. Okay, you can also call it as a yogas of renunciation or Viragya or Viragi. You can call it whatever you want. Okay. Now in Vedic astrology, specifically D1 chart. D1 chart is also known as the natal birth chart. If there are 4 and more planetary conjunctions present in one single house, this can create a Sanyas yoga. I have written up there 4 plus planets. So 4 or more planets are conjunct in one single horoscope. It may be Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, or it may be any 4 planets. There are different variations also. I will discuss each and everything one by one, okay? But this is the first of the most common things which you will find in many books also. If you pick and read the Brihat Prashar Hora Shastra, many ancient books also, even if you read our Upanishads also, that is where initially you will find the word Sanyasa, the very first time which is appeared up there, okay? So whenever the 4 and more planets are conjunct in one single chart. Now, I have seen many astrological charts in day-to-day my consultations, and I will tell you I found many people having 4 and even 5 and even sometimes 6 planetary conjunctions in one single chart, but still they are a householder and they are not sannyasis. So the reason, there are going to be some cancellation factors in that particular area, which we will discuss later on. But the very first combination, whenever the 4 planets are conjunct up there, you can pick up the astrological horoscopes of any great person, great sage that have actually renounced the complete world and they take the path of a spirituality. You will find this is one of the most common combinations. Now there are few variations to this yoga, out of one which you will see sometime. Initially person tend to spend 5, 6, 7 years in one ashram and then they come back. Okay, like yoga is present, they leave the worldly pleasures, they go to the sannyas path and they go to some ashram, they tend to stay 1, 2, 3, 5 years up there, and then their mindset is like, no, I'm not meant for that part, and then they will come back. So this is the cancellation of the sannyas yoga. Okay. Now first of all, out of all the 4 planets, or it may be 5 planets or 6 planets which are present in your chart, here simply you need to find the planet with the highest strength. Okay, out of 4 planets you need to check the strength of the planet. Now basically I will give you a very simple method in which you can check the strength of a planet. First of all, look into the zodiac sign placement and the house placement. These are the 2 methods in which you will be able to determine the strength of one planet. So out of all the planets, whosoever planet is going to be more powerful, you are actually going to be becoming sannyasi according to that particular planet. Now look here, I mentioned all these 7 planets except Rahu and Ketu. These are the physical planets. Okay, now it's the 7 planets which signifies different kind of sannyas yogas. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. Then we will look into the other parts also, divisional charts, and how Saturn and Moon placements can also create this yoga. We will discuss everything in more detail. Okay. The very first thing, if the sannyas yoga is created by planet Sun, or if out of all the 4 planets or 5 planets or 6 planets, the planet in the conjunction, suppose Sun is becoming more powerful. So this is going to make you a tapasvi. Tap I mentioned. Tap simply mean meditation. This is the English word which is I found very close to tap, but in our Hindu tradition tap means tapasya. Tapasya is also one form of a sadhana actually. I made one video 3 years back. I will link in the description section below. I believe this is the video name is the I don't know, but I will definitely link it below. It's a complete 40 minutes long video. We have discussed each and everything. Yes, the 5 stages of the life actually. So I have discussed each and every part. So you can please watch that video also. So first is the tap, which is very closely linked to the meditation. Okay, so the person that will take the path of meditation. Now meditation in our tradition, ancient sadhus, they go to Himalayas also. Himalayas, Parbat, okay. Himalaya mean the big mountains, greater Himalayas, and then they tend to perform sadhana up there or tapasya up there. So this is possible only if your sun is very powerful and if the Sanyas yoga is created by particularly sun in the astrological chart. Secondly is the yoga created by planet moon. Now if the moon is becoming very powerful, this is going to create loneliness and secludedness. I have mentioned here alone actually. So the person tend to live alone or more lonely. This yoga is also very closely linked with the Kendram yoga in Vedic astrology, where there is no any physical planet posited 2nd and 12th house to the moon. So it's more of kind of a that thing, because if you look in even if you look at yourself also, out of all these things, maybe you tend to do meditation 30 minutes a day. So there is also going to be some proportion of the Sanyasi or this Sanyas yoga is actually going to be present in your horoscope. It's not like that the person who have taken birth in the 21st century, they are going to be all materialistic persons. No. There is going to be some proportion of spirituality which is going to present inside every person. That is the reason there are all not 9 planets in Vedic astrology. And Ketu is also the main significator here. Okay. So there is going to be, maybe you tend to spend most of time alone with your own thoughts, with your own emotions, which we also call it as a very introverted kind of a personality. So if you are becoming highly introvert, it shows there are some symptoms present in your astrological chart, which maybe later on when the dasha will appear, have the capacity to give up each and everything. And one day which the sufferings or the pain which you are seeing in this worldly thing, which you might going to be taking a path of sannyas as well. Okay. So moon particularly represents loneliness. This is also symbolizes by Kapali. Now Kapali is basically the person or a beggar with the bowl in his hand. This is particularly Kapali. Okay. You can search it over Google, you will find the photographs of a Kapali. You also tend to become very fearful by looking into these photographs also. Next is Mars. Mars is basically the red clothes, the person that is wearing the red clothes. You can look around Swami Vivekanand, even many good people or many great politicians also. I don't want to name here, but the person who is actually wearing the red clothes. Okay. Next is Mercury. Mercury symbolizes Danda. Danda is simply the stick, like you are holding some stick in your hand. It's also closely associated with the Trishul as well. You see many sages, many sadhus in our Vedic tradition, they are holding some sort of trident kind of a thing in their hand. Trident is simply Trishul, it's like that. This kind of a thing. It's made up of metal actually. Sometimes it's made up of copper, steel, silver also, but usually metal, iron rod with the tridents. Okay. You can see many pictures of Lord Shiva depicting this trident also. Okay. So Mercury is symbolizing that danda, it's a stick also, any object which you hold inside the hand. In the ancient days, stages also, many tapasvis, when they tend to do sadhana, so they sit by crossing their legs in this position. They sit up there and they keep their one hand over that danda. Okay, you see it's a U-shaped thing, and you see Rudraksh mala up there, and they are chanting like that, and their spinal cord is straight actually. So danda is actually helping them to keep their elbow straight. The main reason behind using that part, the mala which you are using, Rudraksh mala, maybe Tulsi mala, so mala must not touch the ground actually. It's believed in our Vedic tradition, even when you are chanting or doing some mala jap, so it's better to keep the mala at this portion, sometime chest portion, this portion, this portion. It must need to be above your this portion, and it must not touch the ground. It's believed if at the time of doing the mantra sadhana over the mala and your mala is touching the ground, So 50% of your tap or your tapasya which you are doing is going towards the bhumi. So you are only going to be receiving the 50% results of the tap or the tapasya which you are doing actually. So that is the reason many yogis, they tend to keep their hand like that and then they chant the mantras. Mala must need to be in the air. It's associated with the air elements. Many people you will see when they do this mala jap. Even my father is also a Vedic astrologer. So he also taught me different methods of this mala jap, like jumping from this portion, from this chakra, then put it in front of your mouth so that your air blow inside this mala beads in this portion and then our portion also, where you are keeping it upside. Okay. So as soon as you are bringing the mala from the lowest most chakra to the highest most chakra, so the light or the candle diya which you are going to be lighting up there, you will see the light will go up and down, up and down. It's a spiritual sadhana. Okay. You will, after a lot of practice, you tend to do that part. Okay. So this is the danda. If it is created by Jupiter, the person is becoming highly self-disciplined. Okay. Great amount of self-discipline. Jupiter is also actually linked with the person who are doing fasting, lot of fasting, intermittent fasting, fasting for 7 days continuously. Although in our Vedic tradition there are many celebrations, it may be Shivratri connected with Lord Shiva, or maybe Durgashtami, so complete even 8 days of Navratri, or it may be the Janmashtami, the birth of the Lord Krishna. So you see fasting is observed in our tradition everywhere, and it's also connected with the different days as well. Some people fast on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, according to which planet they want to strengthen and what kind of results they want to reap out. So self-discipline is also strongly associated with fasting, because when you are fasting, what you are doing, you are resisting something actually, like you are resisting, suppose a good and very delicious food is present in front of you, but you are on a fasting. So what is happening? All your indris, okay, your eyes, your ears, your sense of smell, touch and these things, so you are squeezing your indris actually. Okay, this is contraction, and in this way you are creating the self-discipline inside you. And the self-discipline is created in one aspect, one area of your life, it's also going to be reflecting in all the other areas. Suppose you tend to build self-discipline in one aspect, then you might be becoming in your career, in your profession. So in this way, this Jupiter tend to work. The person is becoming very disciplined. Okay, very strict actually. Strictly disciplined person. They cannot skip their Sundays and Mondays and even Tuesdays. They tend to work. If the disciplined person tend to work, they work day and night. So it's that level of self-discipline if the Sanyas yoga is created by Jupiter. Lastly is the planet Saturn. Now I mentioned up there it's significator. I don't know you will be able to see it or not. Significator. Saturn is first of all the significator of Sanyas, renunciation. Okay. Now Saturn symbolizes the Naga Sadhu. Now who are Naga Sadhus? Without clothes, totally naked. You can search it over Google, just write down Naga Sadhu and you will find what is Naga Sadhu. These are the sadhus which are totally naked. They are not wearing even a single cloth, nothing, no t-shirt, no lower, nothing. And specifically during the Kumbh Mela that have happened recently in India, it's because of Jupiter cycles, and Mahakumbh have organized after 144 years. So that Mahakumbh is actually the symbolism where you will find lot of Naga Sadhus. Naga Sadhus are connected with Saturn. And this is one of the highest form of sannyasa in our Vedic tradition, highest form. And I will tell you these Naga Sadhus, they are not afraid of anything. They are not even afraid of death, anything I will tell you. There are many interviews over the YouTube of these Naga Sadhus, and the kind of different tapasyas which are performed by these Naga Sadhus is going to blow your mind actually. They are going to be doing tapasyas with their indris as well, their genitals, their private parts also. So they tend to do the hardcore tapasya, and Saturn is the significator here. If you want to see whether I am having 4 or 5 planets conjunct in my chart and I'm not a yogi, it means your Saturn is not giving you the permission. This is the single most planet that have the capacity to also create the cancellation of this sannyas yoga, where I told you initially individuals, they are going towards one part of the life and then they are coming back from this ashram after 5 years. It's because the Saturn is not permitting them. So I hope you understand first of all the planets that are creating. One more thing, it's a very important note you can take here. If out of these 7 planets, if suppose more planets are strong, suppose Sun is very strong and Jupiter is also equally strong. So in that case, when both the planets, maybe Sun, Jupiter, if 2 or 3 planets are becoming more stronger, then you need to follow the pattern of your Vimshotri Mahadasha. Whichever planet is coming first in the Vimshotri Mahadasha, you need to pick that planet. So suppose in your horoscope astrological chart, if suppose Jupiter and Saturn are becoming very powerful, and Jupiter Dasha is coming firstly and then coming Saturn. So initial years of you becoming a sannyasi is going to be following the path of self-discipline. And then later on this is getting converted into the Naga Sadhu, because you are entering from Jupiter to Saturn. Okay. So in case if more than 1 planet or 2 planets are at the same strength, pick the planets according to Vimshotri Mahadasha. Whichever planet is coming first, you need to pick that planet. Okay. So this is the first part of this sannyas yoga or this renunciation yoga. Second important yoga is created by the connection between planet Saturn and Moon in your astrological chart. Saturn and Moon, specifically if Saturn is posited in your 9th house, yes, 9th house of Vedic astrology, without any aspects, like no planet is aspecting Saturn and it's alone posited up there, and planet Moon, Chandra, is posited in the Saturnian zodiac signs, in the D1 and specifically in the Drekana chart also. Once again I repeat, if the Saturn is firmly posited in the 9th house, it doesn't matter which zodiac sign, if it is in the 9th house, without any mutual aspect or any other form of aspect, Saturn is alone posited in the 9th house, and planet Moon is either posited in the sign of Capricorn or posited in the sign of Aquarius, specifically in the D1 and in the Drekana chart also. Okay, you need to check D1 and the Drekana chart. This is also the form of combination which have the capacity to make you a pure sannyasi. Second important thing is connected with Jupiter becoming very powerful, specifically exalted Jupiter, specifically forming connection with the 9th house or posited into the 9th house. Jupiter placement in the 9th house, and then Moon is going in the zodiac signs of again Saturn. It may be the sign of Capricorn and Aquarius. This is the next combination. Next combination, if for example Ketu is posited in your 12th house. Now many people, they showed their chart to me and they just look into one combination of Ketu in the 12th house and yes, this is my last life and I'm going to be getting out of the birth and rebirth cycle, so I'm going to be becoming a sannyasi. No, it's the 50% of the truth actually. Even if your Ketu is posited in the 12th house, the first main support system is going to be seen through the planetary conjunction. More than 4 or 5 planets if they are conjunct in one single house. And next important point, if the planet Moon is going into the zodiac signs of Saturn or Mars in the Navmansh Kundli. So in the D9 chart, if your Moon is posited in the sign of Aries or Aquarius, both of these are ruled by Mars, or if the Moon is posited in the sign of Capricorn and Aquarius, both of these are ruled by Saturn. I have already made one video, I believe, over the Drid Karma, which is connected with the sign of Scorpio and the sign of Aquarius, or planets that goes into the sign of Scorpio Navmansh or specifically the Aquarius Navmansh. They represents the immense amount of sufferings that are going to be coming into your life from that particular area. You can check the D1 chart in the combination to D9 in order to understand which area is going to be bringing that amount of suffering, where the person no longer want to become a part of this worldly thing and he want or she want to like become a spiritual person. So if the moon is going into the zodiac signs of Mars, Aries or Scorpio, specifically Scorpio and Aquarius and even Capricorn. Okay, so Aquarius and this sign in the Napanch Kundali, if your moon is posited up there, Ketu in the 12th and 4 plus more planetary combinations are up there, this can also create a Sanyas yoga. These are the certain set of variations which are connected with this Sanyas yoga. Now let me try to discuss the reversal factor of this Sanyas yoga. You remember initially I promised with you all, like I'm also going to be discussing the cancellation of the Sanyas yoga. Like, okay, the yoga of renunciation is present in your horoscope, but still you will not be able to give up this world. Many people, they want to become a spiritual person and they really want to become a spiritual person. That is the reason they also avail spiritual consultations from me, because they want to understand the true essence of spirituality. Many people that are yoga practitioners, that are practicing Jyotishastra, Vedic astrology, maybe Western astrology, or maybe that are trying to learn astrology, you all are watching this video because you are a spiritual person. There is some core which is present inside you that is actually making you a spiritual person. That is the reason you are watching this video over Sanyas Yoga and you have subscribed this channel. Now, I understand because of the 4 plus planetary combinations and the other factors which I have explained you, this have the capacity to make you a Sanyasi, pure Sanyasi. But the cancellation can also happen. It's the reversal of the Sanyas Yoga. Now, reversal part is happening if out of 4 or 5 planets that are conjunct in the chart, if the planets are combust, C-O-M-B-U-S-T, C-O-M-B-U-S-T. Now, the planets are combust if they are in very close proximity with the planet Sun, because only Sun is the planet which create the combustion of the planets. Suppose in your astrological chart, Sun is in conjunction with Mercury and Mercury is combust, or maybe Sun is with Mercury, Venus and even Mars also, and suppose in that planetary conjunction, 2 planets, 1 planet, if it is combust. So combustion of the planet symbolizes, yes, for certain duration of the time, person is going to be becoming or taking the path of renunciation, and then these people are coming back. They are that kind of people. They tend to they go to ashrams. They tend to spend few years in the ashrams and then they came back because of their some self-realization that have came inside these people, or because of some other tricks. Okay, so this is the first thing. Combustion of the planets have the capacity to create the cancellation or the reversal of the Sanyas Yoga. Second important factor is the planetary war. Now, what is planetary war in Vedic astrology? If the 2 planets are in very close proximity means degree wise. Every zodiac sign in Vedic astrology is 30 degree long, and maybe planet is at 18 degree or second planet is at maybe 17 degree certain minutes. Okay, so when the 2 planets, they are in conjunction and they are very closely and very tightly conjunct. Tightly conjunct planet mean if they are at same degrees, moreover same. Like suppose Saturn and Venus are conjunct and they are at very close degrees, planetary war is happening. You understand planetary war? It's happening because when the planets are very tightly conjunct. If just 1 degree gap, okay, not more than that. If there is a planetary war happening in your astrological chart, where the planets are very tightly and very strongly conjunct, this can also create the reversal, or this can also create the cancellation of this Sanyas Yoga. And that is where many people, they want to take the path of spirituality, they want enlightenment, they want moksha in their life, they want to take the path of spirituality, but still they will not be able to take it, is because of these two main factors. First is the combustion of the planets, which is not giving you the permission, and second, the planetary war which is happening up there. So this is the video of this Sanyas yoga, and I hope you have gained some deep insights by watching this video. If you appreciate this video and you want to send me some super thanks as a contribution or small thanks to my work, you can send me super thanks also. You can see the icon below, and you can also make sure to subscribe my channel below. In case you missed out any other video, don't miss it out. And in case of any detailed personalized consultations also, you can please drop me an email. Any consultation maybe with regards to Grihastha ashram, like career, marriage, or maybe spirituality, or any other health consultations also. So don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I am always available and always happy to serve you well. And you can also follow me on Instagram, and please do watch that video. I will link it in the description section below. It's the video which is I made after a lot of research actually. You can just click here. You can see the video up there. Just click in this video. Yes, it's the video Praishchit, atonement. Okay. So please do watch this video. This will help you to gain more insights with regards to Vedic astrology and our Vedic tradition. So till then, please take care of yourself, and may Lord Jagannath bless you, all of you. And please take care of yourself, and Hare Krishna.